Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. This is the Match Grade Podcast Special Edition, the Mike and Dave edition.
Absolutely. I'm better looking than Matt, too.
Ooh, man, Mike's just fired shots all over the place.
Heck yeah, Matt couldn't be here because he's got to be on vacation.
In this episode, we're going to talk just misconceptions and myths
Yeah.
on concealed carry.
Yeah, there's a ton of them out there, too.
Oh my God, we had to narrow it down
Yeah.
to just where we came up with, I think, 12.
Yeah. Yeah, we got 12
yeah,
questions.
we had to narrow it down a little bit. There's hundreds out there. You know, it's like we had to pull from, I pulled from stuff that I've heard.
Right.
And, Ed put a few together on here. And then I, just as a kind of an experiment, I went on to Grok, the AI, and I
Right.
put
Not
in,
the tight end.
not the tight end,
tight end, okay.
not the guy. And it came up with a whole list of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I was actually impressed.
Right.
I was actually pretty impressed.
And YouTube University has all sorts of stuff. When I'm home drinking my Angels Envy bourbon, having a glass, but I'm down. Teaching all the time. It's
I know.
watch some stuff on YouTube, and there's all sorts of stuff out there too. So
And the unfortunate part, there's stuff out there that people are putting out there as real content.
Yeah.
That is perpetuating the myths.
absolutely. Yeah.
So if you're doing it, knock it off. Just stop.
Just
All right. So let's start with an easy one. All right.
Okay.
I'll read it, and I'll tell you what. You give me your initial
Okay.
reaction, and then I'll give you
All
mine.
right.
All right. So myth number one.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
You must use a teeny tiny gun in order to conceal carry.
Hear it all the time. Hear it all
Yep.
the time. I can't say how wrong that is because you're going to not be super proficient with it as your first gun, especially. People really think that, I got to have this tiny little gun to hide it. It's not true. I mean, I carry a Glock 43X size. It's a Shadow Systems. Shout out to you guys. But it's the same exact size.
Yeah.
And then, one of the big ones is like the Glock 43. It's a smaller gun. A lot of the ladies don't like shooting it.
They like it until they have to shoot it.
Absolutely. So that's a huge myth. And the sight radius and stuff, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
It's less accurate by far.
Yeah, I answer that question. I get it 2-3 times a week. Somebody call me about guns or talking to me about them. And my answer is, number one, short sight radius, not a lot of mass in the gun, so there's a lot more recoil felt in that gun compared to a mid-sized gun.
Right.
It's harder to learn on the smaller gun because of the sight radius and the recoil, and there's just not enough mass to grab a hold of and operate. So basically, my question to them is, why do you want to make a somewhat, we'll call it a somewhat easy task of learning how to shoot harder
Right.
by getting a small gun?
Absolutely.
Okay? So don't fall into it. Don't go get a small gun because you think concealability is the only factor.
Right.
I carry a mid-sized Glock 19 in an appendix carry,
Right.
and I hide it very well, and I don't go through great effort to do it. So it's doable, everyone. Just don't fall into that little myth.
Absolutely. All right.
All right.
second
What's
question.
next? I'll let you go.
Yeah, what I got, and you can answer, then I'll go. It's safer to carry with an empty chamber if you're going to go concealed. We hear that a lot.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's look at the logic of it. It is safer to carry without a round in the chamber because there's no chance the gun's going to go off.
Right.
But the problem is there's no chance the gun's going to go off
Right.
until you chamber it.
Right.
And it's kind of like, I'll make it as quick an answer as I can. It's like buying a fire extinguisher when your house is burning down or putting the seatbelt on in the middle of a crash.
Right.
That people think, I'll have time to rack one into the chamber. They're wrong.
Right. Absolutely. So one of the big ones that I hear with this and what I'd like to just kind of knock down is everybody says, I'm going to rise to the occasion. You're going to fall to your highest level of training. You're going to go to the range, rack around the chamber, start shooting. That's the training you're going to have. If you get in a situation, God forbid you need your firearm, you're not going to remember to rack one in the chamber.
Nope.
So that's the
not
big
gonna
thing. No, that's the big thing with that misconception.
So here's the wrap up on that one. Yes, it is safer because the gun's unloaded. Okay? An unloaded gun is fairly safe. But for concealed carry, it's not a safe action or a safe mindset to be in. All right, well, we got through that one.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Next one I hear all the time is you need a big, powerful caliber to stop a threat. I'm going to turn it over to you, and then I'm going to tell you, my thought process on that too, because you hear it all the time.
Yeah, I base my answer on numerous ballistics talks and study, and actually doing ballistics testing firsthand into
Right.
things that, you could shoot bullets into and gauge the differences. And I can tell you, it's not about what you hit them with, it's where you hit them with the thing you're shooting.
Absolutely.
So you could, let's say a big 45. Okay, you can hit the target, but you might not, have any effect. I know a guy who, he was an ER doctor. He treated a guy who got shot in the chest with a 45. He sent him home the same day with 2 Band-Aids, one on the front, one on the back.
Yeah.
Didn't hit anything major.
Right.
So, yeah, maybe the big, powerful caliber isn't what's needed.
Right.
Your thoughts?
I hear it constantly. Need a 45 because it's God's caliber, or a 357 Magnum because it's the most powerful handgun you can have. If you aren't proficient with it and you hate shooting the gun and stuff like that, which I'll tell you, it's most of the time some of these larger calibers you will not like it. It's worthless. Modern ballistics, 9mm 380, very comparable as far as their ballistics and stuff like
357 and 38
Yep.
are fine.
That's all good. And I mean, I know people that carry a 380, and that's great because if I can't shoot a 9mm, if I put 4 rounds of 380 right here, the person's going to stop what they're doing.
Do you think they're going to notice?
They're going to notice, and unless they're really, really motivated and really, really dedicated, they're going to stop what they're doing.
As Dave Spalding said one time, I will have his undivided attention.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. So that's the big thing with the larger calibers.
Okay. All right. So next one up. You hear this a lot. It's perpetuated probably by TVs and movies. So I'll just put it out there. You should always shoot to kill.
That is a huge misconception. The reason you're shooting is to neutralize a threat. And that's not even just in a self-defense situation. That's law enforcement. That's military, all the other stuff. Yes, there are certain aspects of the military where that is their job. But self-defense, law enforcement, anything like that, you're shooting to neutralize a threat. Now, It might be 1 round. It might be 4 rounds. It all depends on how long it takes the threat to stop. And if they happen to, be a good shot and they pass, you can justify that.
Yeah, but that wasn't the goal.
Right.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I tell them. We don't teach them to shoot to kill. We teach them to shoot to stop the threat. Or if you really want to expand on it even further, we teach them to shoot to live.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So whatever the attacker or the attacking thing is doing, you've decided that this is the only answer to the solution.
Yes.
So you have to shoot. But your goal is to get it to stop doing whatever it is that it's doing that made you shoot it in the first place.
Yeah. And I love that living terminology because that's the thing. What do you have that's worth dying over? Because the sad thing is, and I know you wrote the 18-hour class and all the other classes and stuff like that, you might not survive. Yeah. That's the scariest thing, is you might not survive. So you're really defending yourself in order to live. So that's a really good point on that one.
Good. All right. What's next?
So this one, I'm going to give you a nice little softball since you have developed and
You're
started.
You're going to send it right over into my backyard, right?
Absolutely. This is your company and you built it from the ground up. You don't need training beyond your permit.
Don't need training beyond your permit. Well, if somebody says that, unfortunately, we have to be nice and to tell them they're 100% wrong.
Yes.
Think of this. Getting your pistol license, completing here in New York, completing that course, getting your pistol license is akin to getting a learner's permit to drive a car.
Right.
Okay. Then you got to learn more. You've got to get used to things. You've got to, you got to get on the road, but you got to get into classes. You got to learn how to care and feed the gun, how to care for it, how to maintain that responsible commitment to that gun.
Right.
So it maintains a commitment to you being serviceable, being working and being effective when you need it.
Right.
Then deciding to carry concealed is kind of like getting your CDL to drive an 18-wheeler.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good analogy. That's a great analogy. Yeah.
There's more at risk. There's more to know. There's more, we'll say, finesse that has to happen that if you don't follow through with, bad things happen.
Yeah.
And to be blunt, people could die.
Yeah.
Right? You screw it up, you mess it up, you die, they die, somebody gets hurt, some innocent party gets hurt. So I guess the best thing I can tell people is no one is born knowing how to shoot. Maybe Jared Mikulik, but I think he's an alien. And so is his daughter, Lena. I think they're just alien or infused with DNA. But no one's really born knowing how to shoot.
Right.
It's a learned it's not even a learned response, it's a learned skill.
Right.
Okay. Just some people are more skilled at it, but you have to learn how to do it. You have to learn what's going around what you want to do. Like in the concealed carry, there's a lot to understand. I told people it's like, like that old report writing class, who, what, when, why, and how. You got to understand a lot of stuff. And I think we did. We've done so many podcasts, I almost forgot what we did. But if we haven't done it, we're going to have to put that one on the list as, who you should be as a concealed carrier.
Right.
And it's somebody who wants to do more training, period. End of story, right there. Do training. Don't just stop at your first class.
Right. Absolutely. I'm not even going to add to it because you Aaron judged that right out of the park.
All right. All right, next up, numero 7 is there's no good way to conceal carry when you're in your car.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing because it's no different. It's on your hip, it's appendix, whatever. It's no different than wandering around, anywhere else with it. Might have a little bit of different comfort level, so guess what? Get better gear. Figure it out. If you lock it in your safe because you're driving around in your car, something might happen and you kind of might need that tool to stop that problem with your car. So if it's uncomfortable, find better gear. That's all I can say. I always have my gun on my hip, in my car, out of my car. I don't know as much of a difference.
Yeah. So when I went from 330 carry to appendix inside the waistband, that was one of my
because you're skinny, you can do that.
Yeah, us little guys can do that. That was a big concern of mine because I worked out how to get to the seatbelt and not have the gun get wound up in the seatbelt, how to draw, and I did from passenger side and driver's side. I had everything worked out, but I had to change things a little bit when I went to appendix. I had to work out the bugs of that because the seatbelt goes around here, and here's the shoulder belt coming down, and there's the gun hiding behind it.
Absolutely.
So I had to get clothing out of the way and get there. So in reality, it's very doable with a little bit of basic knowledge on how to access your firearm and get it out. And we're talking about drawing in a car. What about just I'm sitting in the car and I'm driving along? Heck, I've driven 8, 10, 12 hours with a gun on my hip or in appendix, and it doesn't bother you at all.
Right.
Doesn't bother you at all. So it's possible to do, but as you said, you got to get the right gear. You got to get, if it's going to be appendix, you've got to get the right wedge in there. You got to get the pillow. You've got to get the wing to tuck everything in. Right. And then you've just got to sit in the car and get used to it.
Do you happen to have a class for that?
We do.
There we go.
Our vehicle defense tactics.
Wow, I can't imagine. Maybe they could come learn some stuff with
Coming
that.
in 2026.
There we go. Perfect.
Nice. Good segue and plug there.
Absolutely.
We should be better at that. And you know what? You know where you can buy holsters for this?
I think
the Carry Gear
Gear store or something. Yeah. So the gear and the clothes to conceal carry is way too uncomfortable.
If that's what you think, you've got the wrong gear.
Absolutely. For sure.
Kind of like what we said in the last commentary, right?
Yeah.
If it's uncomfortable, you've got the wrong gear.
Right.
You haven't fit it properly. Yeah. I'm impressed, even in my career in carrying a firearm, at how everything has evolved. Because when I started carrying, everybody was mostly hip carry. Some were doing front of the hip.
Right.
Front of the hip and appendix has been around for 50, 60, 70 years.
Right.
Don't let anybody fool you that it's new. But I knew my exposure was limited to carrying right behind the hip. Okay, 330 position. So I had to find a holster that fit that. I started with outside, then I had to go inside. But I found a way to make it comfortable. I just had to experiment, make adjustments. But it is possible. The right belt,
Absolutely.
The right holster, and just the right mental state of I'm going to feel that gun on me.
Right. Yeah.
What's your take on it?
Well, the funny part is the clothes, because there's a lot of really tactical looking stuff out there, and a lot of it is kind of tactical dumb looking. So I don't know really what that misconception.
Tactard.
Yeah, well, it's a safe space.
Tactifool.
So the clothing and stuff. I mean, I carry conceal in just regular everyday clothes.
Yep.
I don't dress any different, anything like that. I jeans, pants, shorts that I know that you hate when I wear shorts. But, I do wear my shorts sometimes. And 100%, I mean, it's just everyday normal dress.
Well, you don't carry a gun down on a calf, so that's okay.
No, that's true. I don't. But I'm trying to figure out more places to strap a gun on me.
All right. So since we're in the concealed carry myths, and we're kind of in a little segue about gear and things, let's kind of go towards the mindset part.
Right.
So one of the things that I've heard people say is, well, I'll have a gun with me, so I'm automatically going to be safer.
Right.
What do you think?
I think how's that possible? Because really, nobody should really know you have a gun on you.
Yeah.
So how's that not make you safer? It might make you feel safer, but your feelings are a little different. It's a tool. It's not magic. It doesn't put a force field around you like on Star Trek or anything else like that. Awareness, avoidance, and training. That's what we always talk about. Avoidance is probably the biggest thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you get into a situation and you pick the fight with the wrong person, there's always a bigger, badder bear out there. And now there's a gun in the situation because you brought it. So why even put yourself in the situation? You gotta, instead of thinking yourself safer, you need to adjust yourself and the way you interact with other people.
Right. I look at it this way, having been in a situation where it was handy to have a pistol with you, the cost of not having it when it's desperately needed is pretty severe. Okay. But I don't look at it as it makes me safer. I don't go anywhere with a gun that I wouldn't go without a gun.
Right.
That's just asinine.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got a gun. I can go to this dangerous spot.
Right.
You're an idiot.
So you're not gonna go downtown Rochester?
Yeah. Stay out of Rochester. But what it should do is make you more aware of your surroundings when you're carrying the gun.
Yes.
Right? Kind of what you said is you should be paying attention more. You should be more apt to disengage and de-escalate.
Right.
Because what's the ultimate goal? Don't use that.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Survival. I mean, we talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
100%.
So, yeah, it doesn't make you safe. All right. So, next up, this is one that we don't entertain a lot in New York because of its laws.
No.
But I hear, I got a lot of colleagues in the industry that are in these states. What if the state allows for open carry? Why should I bother with concealing?
It kind of goes right back to the other question that we had. Now people know you have a gun.
Yeah.
I am not a big fan of open carry. When I first left here, I went down to Virginia. I walked in the mall and everybody's open carry, and I'm like, this is freaking weird. If I think of myself as a criminal, the first person I'm going to target is the people that can stop me.
Yeah.
And also, law enforcement, we learn and train to fight for our guns. Are you going to do the same thing as a regular person open carrying?
Yeah.
That's the thing. And fighting for your gun, I know, it's a serious thing.
It's
serious training.
It's all in, or you're going to be all out.
Absolutely. So that's my thought on the concealed carry, open carry and stuff. What do you got?
Well, I appreciate states that allow for open carry, but I have also seen people that kind of take it one step too far. If you're really thinking about it, they're talking about open carry of a holstered handgun. They're not talking about open carry of a slung long gun, which most of these, I see these guys that are like, oh, I can, get out of mom's basement and I can strap a gun on and go cosplay out in public.
Armed fisherman?
Yeah, like that. Okay, you're just making it rougher for the rest of us.
Yeah.
So if that's you, knock it off. If you see somebody doing that, tell them to knock it off.
Yeah.
Right? What we're really talking about is being out in public with a holstered handgun, carrying, exercising your rights and everything. Right. I appreciate that. And for every reason we have to conceal, there's reasons that they can counter with, oh, I'm gonna carry it open. Right. I think it's a deterrent. Okay, maybe it is a deterrent. Someone's gonna look and go, wow, there's a lot of guns and a lot of people in there. I'm not gonna go in and rob that place.
Yeah.
But it could also backfire. You're in the convenience store and the guy walks in and there's a guy with a gun, not paying attention, and grab it.
Yeah.
Right? I've seen videos of that.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
And most of them have ended tragically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think of it this way. If the state allows for open carry, that's great because I'm still going to conceal carry.
Me too.
Okay. If a magic wand got waved and everything was awesome and open carry was legalized in New York State, I would still carry concealed.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't worry so much about being concealed. Like I could accidentally have my shirt open up, or if I'm doing something and my hoodie rides up and there's a gun there, people are still going to have a problem with it, but I'm not breaking the law.
Exactly.
So there's some room for, I guess you could say, indiscretion. Okay. But other than that, I wouldn't just open carry as a, like a show of bravado.
Yeah.
And in a lot of states that have open carry, that's actually legal.
Right.
If you're displaying it to, for, into, I guess you could say, elicit a reaction.
Right.
Or to intimidate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the bad guy still.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I would say, you know what? Don't do it unless you're just being casual about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, whatever.
100%.
All right, Mike. What's next?
So next one, concealed carry people, concealed carry permit holders, more likely to insert themselves into violence.
Huh?
Exactly.
Huh?
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a tough one. I see the wheel spinning.
No, it's not a tough one. It's just like I've heard it.
Yeah.
And from my perspective, my experiences, my perspective, I look at it, that is like, why would I stick my hand in a meat grinder? Mm-hmm. Okay. It's just dumb. But I can understand that some people that are carrying concealed might have a small percentage of hero complex. Mm-hmm. Okay. They might say, well, I've got a gun. I can solve this.
Yes.
I can help somebody. Okay. So if I go along with a little bit of belief that concealed carry holders are more likely to insert themselves into violence, mm-hmm. Okay. Well, they might, because they might have the solution to the violent action.
Right.
Okay. But there's more to it. You got to have the right mindset. You got to have the right wherewithal and sense of self, mm-hmm. but also the skills behind it to be able to pull this off.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't just go running in, waving a gun at the guy who is robbing the convenience store, mm-hmm. or, carjacking somebody, right. and think they're just going to say, oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I'm going to run away now and not shoot anybody. No, you're probably going to get shot.
Yeah.
You might get shot by other concealed carry holders that right. are looking in the area, and they see guys with guns, and you might have some incoming fire.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So it could be very problematic. Mm-hmm. What's your addition to
I think the convenience store was a perfect example. If I run in from the parking lot of the convenience store and just take that attention off of the bad guy, and he looks at me real quick.
Yeah.
The store owner might have a big ass shotgun right underneath, and he pulls it out and he shoots both of you guys.
Yeah.
Right. So there's one aspect of that. And
now he thinks he can rob by two guys.
Yeah. And then also the other one is the you said the hero complex, mm-hmm. the active shooter situation and stuff.
Yeah.
I was actually at the Navy Yard in 2013. It's a complete clutter. It is, and people are going to be calling 911. You're running through
You can say kerfluffle.
Okay, kerfuffle. Okay, I'm trying to make sure I don't have my Navy mouth for this.
How about a cluster? Beep.
Yeah, there we go. I beat that crap out. It is, and you think too, people are going to be calling 911.
Yep.
So if I'm the one running through Wegmans with a gun, even though I'm going to try to stop the bad guy, that's who the cops are going to be looking for.
There's a lot of tactics that need to be employed to ensure that you don't get shot.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Revolvers make for terrible concealed carry options.
Well, I actually agree with that because I hate revolvers. I am not Wyatt Earp, so I am not a fan of revolvers. That's just me personally, but I also grew up with semi-automatics. My entire career has been all semi-automatics. Revolvers do have benefits. You get it right into somebody if they're right on top of you or something. The revolver will still go off. Mm-hmm. The misfires, hang fires, stuff like that. The way to fix it in semi-automatic, drop the magazine, put a new round in, all the other stuff, that's gone with the revolver. All you do is press the trigger again, it goes bang, mm-hmm. hopefully. But like I said, I am just not a fan, and I know you do like a revolver, so now you can say why it is a great carry conceal option.
Well, I'm going to say this. If you want to carry a revolver for self-defense, learn how to use the darn thing and get good at it and carry on. Right. Keep going. Right. I've carried a revolver. I have 3 that I could carry and a couple of them that I could carry, but it'd have to be in like a giant chest rig because the Model 686 is, it's pretty heavy. If I run out of ammo, I can hit him in the head with it.
Right.
And that'll probably have more ballistic capability. But revolvers are, in my experience and what I've done with them, I've taken classes with them, and I've punished myself and learned about revolvers in stressful situations. They're a great option for the person that wants to have that option. Right. If somebody says, "Oh, I got a revolver for self-defense," I'm like, "Okay, let's teach you how to shoot it. Let's go." Right. If they want to make a decision, I've done gun fits where they had zero idea which way they wanted to go. Mm-hmm. So I've brought 2 or 3 carry and mid-size options, and I brought a bunch of semi-auto options. And they're like, wow, these are interesting. But I'm kind of more comfortable with the semi-auto because I can get more ammo in it. You know, there's pluses and minuses.
Yeah.
My answer to this is, I don't care what you want to shoot. I really don't.
Right.
I'm going to try to influence you to have the right choice, but the right choice for you. Mm-hmm. If a revolver is your choice, okay, then let's teach you how to shoot it. Let's get good at it. Let's give you that expert level training that you need, and go live your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
No big deal.
Yeah. Nope.
Okay, so either way, whatever works for you, take it.
Get something you like. It's just my personal opinion with revolvers. That's all.
That's right. Yeah. Well, you have very little experience with them. That's why. So you're more comfortable with that semi. You know, I've got, I don't know, I'd say I'm like an 80-20.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I do have a vast amount of experience with semis, but I've got enough revolver experience to know that I can yank one of those little, 642s out of my safe, load it up, get my speed loader, my speed strips. I'd be comfortable carrying it. I'm good.
I have one revolver in my entire collection, and I got a pretty big collection. And I bought it for class just to display to people. And it hasn't had a round through it. The only thing it's had is W rounds. So it's just not for me.
So it's not a safe queen, it's a display queen.
Yes, it's a display queen for the class.
It's a class queen.
Or I like to call them safe princesses, and Ed likes to pick on me because I use the terminology princess instead of a queen. So.
All right, everyone. So that's 12 concealed carry myths. If you have any that you've heard, please comment below, and then we'll throw an answer out to it, and maybe we'll do a part 2, and then your comment will be used in part 2.
Absolutely.
And we'll give you a shout out too. We'll do that.
We did 12 out of what? 7,500 that we did.
75
So yeah,
million, I don't know.
definitely. Reach out to us if you got anything else.
Yep. Anyway, and as always, guys, everyone, like, comment, subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you know when we put another one out. And be safe out there.
And shop at the Carry Gear store.
And shop the Carry Gear store.